And we are back. Welcome to the Game Week 2 Premier League predictions video. After a very eye-opening opening weekend of the season, Liverpool already dropping points in the title race in their opening game. Fantastic starts for newly promoted clubs Bournemouth and Fulham. Obviously Fulham in that Liverpool game and Bournemouth getting their season off to a win against Aston Villa. Manchester United, of course, lost at home to Brighton, then tried to sign Marko Arnautovic to fix that problem. Reaction to that game is available on the channel, and honestly, I don't have enough time to talk about my feelings over trying to sign Arnautovic. Other than that, it has been an interesting week in the transfer market all round. Lots of new players coming in once again. I think Everton have done some great business this week. But I think the best signing we have seen this week, and it will remain to be seen, is Mikkel Damsgaard going to Brentford. I rate him incredibly highly. I thought he was one of the best players at the European Championships last summer, and I think he will be an immediate success at Brentford. Hopefully not this weekend against Man United. But that is all of the catch-up to do for now. If you are new around here, what we do on these series is have a quick rundown of the results from the previous week, give ourselves a quick points tally, and then look ahead to all of the upcoming fixtures for the new game week. So please do consider dropping a like on the video if you enjoy all this sort of stuff. Let's look into last week's results. So this is what I went for. All 10 games, of course, for the opening weekend, and these were the results. Not the best of starts, to be honest. Obviously, did not expect Liverpool to drop points away at Fulham. Certainly didn't expect Villa to lose so comfortably to Bournemouth. Leeds and Wolves, I'm not going to complain about. Did get a first three-pointer of the season for Newcastle and Notts Forest, and did not get a single prediction right for Super Sunday last week. Brentford getting the 2-2 draw. Brighton obviously winning at Man United. And I'll be honest, I was very disappointed with the way West Ham played against Man City, which did sadly mean I scored no points there as well. All in all, this meant that we did get a game week score for game week 1 of 6. So not the end of the world. I always try and target myself for 10 points each week, which obviously means that the season score is 6 as well at the start of the season. Please let me know down in the comments how you got on for last week, and let's get into the game week 2 fixtures. So we start with the Saturday lunchtime game. There is no Friday night football this week. There is instead a Monday night football. We start with Aston Villa and Everton, two sides who both lost their opening fixtures and both struggled to score in said fixtures. I think Aston Villa have the capacity to make changes in that regard. I mean, Ollie Watkins not starting last week was a massive surprise to me. Everton do have Solomon Rondon available for them again. However, I don't think he'd make too much difference. It remains to be seen. It is, of course, the first Premier League meeting of Steven Gerrard and Frank Lampard as well, I believe. I don't think they played each other last season. Feel free to correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. Can they coexist off the pitch like they failed to coexist on the pitch? That also remains to be seen. As for the game itself, I am going for 2-0 to Aston Villa in that one. I just think they are a better team than Everton. Despite all of Everton's good new signings this week, I think it'll be a little bit too soon for them to put a dent in Aston Villa, and I expect them to get the win. On to a whole host of Saturday lunchtime games, starting with Arsenal and Leicester. Surprised this game wasn't put on TV, but I understand why. I do expect Arsenal to win this one. Slightly controversially, I am going to go for a relatively big win. I'm going to go for 3-0 to Arsenal. That may surprise a few of you, but I think Leicester's season has started off poorly. They've not done anything in the transfer market other than sell their goalkeeper. Lots of transfer rumours still speculating around James Maddison to Newcastle, Fofana to Chelsea, and of course Yuri Tielemans potentially to their opponent Arsenal. And after drawing 2-2 at home to Brentford, I think this is a fantastic opportunity for Arsenal to lay down a good marker for the season against a good team, and I just expect them to beat them quite comfortably. So I'm going 3-0 to Arsenal. On to the second one on 3 o'clock on Saturday, we have Brighton and Newcastle, two teams who started the season very, very well. We've spoken already about Brighton winning at Old Trafford, But Newcastle got their season off to a great start with a 2-0 win over Nottingham Forest, creating more chances than any other team last weekend in the process. So I think this will be a tight one. As we all know on this channel, we do not get Brighton predictions correct. But I am going to go for back-to-back wins for Brighton to kick off the season for them. I'm going to go for 2-1 once again. I think Newcastle definitely have the means of hurting Brighton, but if they put in a performance like they did at Old Trafford, I think they will have too much quality in the end than Newcastle and will just about sneak the win. On to Man City and Bournemouth, and this is tough in regards to, in my opinion, how many Man City can realistically get. The approach Bournemouth take will be interesting. Obviously, getting that 2-0 win against Aston Villa is a fantastic start for them. Will they be brave enough to try and take on Man City? I don't think so. I think they're going to go in with the mindset of, we'll try and hold them at bay, we'll try and keep them out as long as possible, and I'm just going to go for 3-0 to Man City. We've seen it enough times, though, they are more than capable of scoring more than 5, especially in home games against previously promoted opposition. I can remember a few occasions they've put Watford for 6, 7 and 8, so wouldn't surprise me to see it being a lot more than 3, but for now, being just the second game of the season, I am going to go for 3-0 to Man City. Next up, we have Southampton and Leeds, and again, a tough one to call in my opinion. Southampton obviously starting off with the 4-1 defeat to Tottenham, and Leeds getting a 2-1 win against Wolves. I'm going to go for 2-1 Southampton in this one. I think already it is a result that Southampton need to win in regards to their manager keeping their job. I'm not going to say that Ralph Hasenhüttl will be sacked if Southampton lose this game just 2 games in, but I put Southampton to get relegated this season, and these are the sort of games that they need to be targeting as wins, and I think right now they should, but it would not surprise me one bit to see Leeds get a draw minimum here, as I do not rate Southampton's credentials this season. Finally, for the lunchtime or 3 o'clock games, however you want to look at it, it is Wolves up against Fulham. Wolves losing their opening game, Fulham getting the draw against Liverpool. It's, again, a tough one, but it's one you would expect Wolves to win at home. I am going to go for a 2-0 win to Wolves. The way that Wolves defend, I think, will suit how Fulham attack from a defensive perspective, if that makes sense. I think their outlook will be tough for Fulham to break down, so I don't see Fulham scoring against Wolves, to be honest with you, and I think Wolves have a lot of quality going the other way and should be able to hurt Fulham. If they'd have looked at the way Liverpool scored their goals against them, I think they'll capitalise on those sort of opportunities as well, so I am going for 2-0 Wolves in that one. On to the Saturday evening game, and we have Brentford and Manchester United, and I mean, I don't know where the line can be drawn in terms of my bias for this one. We beat Brentford in both games last season and then took their best player. I spoke about how Mikael Damsgaard has come in. I think he's going to be a fantastic player. I think he will be a threat. I think the way we defend, especially if we play Martinez again, is going to fall perfectly into Ivan Toney's hands. I do fear for us once again. I'm not so confident we can get a result here, so I'm just going to play it down the middle and go for a 2-2 draw. I still demand Manchester United to win this game like I did against Brighton last week, but if we put in a similar performance, we're not going to beat Brentford. So I'm going to go for 2-2. Hope I'm wrong from a Manchester United perspective, and pray I'm not wrong from a Brentford perspective. On to Super Sunday then, and we have Nottingham Forest's first home game in the Premier League this millennium. They come up against West Ham, who obviously had such a poor start against Man City. Arguably the 2 worst performing teams in the opening weekend, both losing 2-0 without really putting a dent in the opposition defences. Because of that, I'm not going to split them here. I do think West Ham have a better quality of team, but away to Nottingham Forest, first opportunity for the Forest fans to see their team in the Premier League. I think that's going to lift the team enough to get a result, but not enough to get a win. I am going to go for a 1-1 draw in that one. Now, for the main event of the weekend, in my opinion, we have Chelsea up against Tottenham. Already a massive game in the race for the top four, and depending on how you see things, potentially the race for the title. Chelsea played Spurs 4 times last season, beat them all 4 times without conceding. So you would expect me to say this is going to be another comfortable win for Chelsea, but given everything that's happened to them, both on and off the pitch, they've lost a lot of key players, signed some good players, but are still without a recognised striker. And with everything that Tottenham have done so well over the course of the last couple of months in the transfer window and in terms of on the pitch under Antonio Conte, I actually think this game is coming too soon for Chelsea. And I'm going to go for a 3-1 Spurs win, which, if all the other results go the same way, as I've predicted, would see Tottenham remain at the top of the league. That is my feeling on it. Slightly controversial, I know. Let me know down in the comments if you do agree with this judgment call. But right here, right now, I think Tottenham are going to be too good for Chelsea. And yeah, 3-1 to Spurs in that one. Finally, we have the Monday Night Football, which is Liverpool up against Crystal Palace. Palace played well, I thought, against Arsenal, created some chances, but were well blocked out by the Arsenal defence. Arsenal, on the other hand, did take them quite comfortably going the other way. So I do expect this to be a comfortable win for Liverpool. I am going to go for the exact same scoreline I went for in their game against Fulham and hope that the outcome remains the same. But we're going to go for a 4-0 win to Liverpool. I would be very surprised if Nunez doesn't start this time. It's the sort of game where they can really show what they've got in front of their home fans for the first time. They could definitely blow Palace away. They have done on multiple occasions in the past as well. So yeah, 4-0 Liverpool to round off the week. And that is going to wrap up this week's video. As always, I will put in the description of this video all of the fixtures, allowing you to quickly copy and paste them down into the comments so you can let me know what you think the scores are going to be for this week. If you did miss my fantasy football video for this week, a link to that will be available on screen now. And all that is left to say is, if you do enjoy this series, please let me know by liking the video and sharing it with a friend. And if you do want to support the channel, please do consider subscribing and ringing the bell so you don't miss out on any of the content. Thank you so much for watching once again. I'll be back very, very soon.